a man who understands how to integrate speech, singing and speaking. And so therefore that was something very unique, and you'll only find that in Guru Dutt. As far as lighting is concerned, his man, Murthy Saab, who you see talking, was really brilliant. Brilliant man. He was very influenced by the German school of expressionism in the 30s. And so therefore you find he really has a sense of light and shade. So that you can see in the German films of the 30s, very much so. There was a German photographer who shot, I don't know, many of you have seen an old film called Mahal. Has anybody seen Mahal here? Yeah. Now that gentleman, Joseph Wershing was his name, and Joseph Wershing shot Pakiza, Mahal and various, and many of the young cameramen were very influenced by Wershing. And where did Wershing come from? From the UFA studios in Germany. So you have German influence, and the early cameramen were actually trained by Germans.
Ma'am, talking about the German influence, I think Devanand also said that when Devanand and Guru Dutt, when they had a little bit of money and free time, they would go and watch a lot of Hollywood films. Yeah, so they would go and watch a lot of Hollywood films, and especially the 40s noir films, the film noir films, which were thriller, which again was a continuation of the expressionist school of the 1920s. Also, adopted this kind of lighting and the contrast between light and shadow. So, and I think Ira Bhaskar also says that the melodramatic films of Douglas also influenced Guru Dutt. So, is that something also that they had a huge impact on him?
To be very honest, I am always worried when people say X and Y influence so-and-so. You get influenced by everything and nothing. You might get influenced by everyone, and you might see a cook who does wonderful dishes and you see him cook. You may not be able to do it. You have to find your own way of doing things, and that makes you an artist and makes you unique. And I think Guru Dutt must have seen other films and must have felt the kind of the way Hollywood made films, the Europeans made films, but in the end, he's remembered for how he does it. So you learn from many sources, but if it's not enough to learn or be influenced, you have to know what to do with it.
Right. And I think in your documentary, again referring to your documentary, I think Manikal says something very interesting about how B.K. Murthy would light the entire set, as opposed to the other filmmakers, and how usually the lighting is done in television. Could you talk about that a little?
And Manikal, who many of you must know his work, Manikal said that he felt when he would look at a frame of Guru Dutt, that actually he would light the set first and then place the actor. So the light would fall on the actor in a very random way, in a different way, unpredictable way. But if you put the actor first in the frame and then light him, it's a different emphasis. You will not create so many shadows. But if you do it the other way around, light it, then the actor comes in, you create different kinds of random shadows. And Manikal felt he was doing that. I don't know, I never managed to ask Murthy Saab whether that was true or not, but the fact of the matter is Murthy really understood how to use light and shade. And the most important thing is how Guru Dutt used the different lenses. Now when we look at each other, our eyesight looks at a lens which is called the 15mm lens, and that is how the eye sees. And Guru Dutt wanted many of the close-ups to be in 50mm. Another great master of French cinema, Bresson, always shot films in 50mm as the eye sees it. So there's less artifice. So, but therefore certain things you can do technically to make it more natural and to give a different feeling. The most interesting thing in Guru Dutt's work is how he shoots close-ups. Beautiful close-ups. You could frame the stills from them.
Now also I want to talk a little bit about